Hello everybody, David Shuster here. We've just got another reminder that if you're going to be charged with a crime or indicted, you are in luck if the prosecutor is U.S. Attorney Lindsey Halligan. The former beauty queen with no prosecutorial experience keeps violating court rules. Most recently, Halligan disclosed to a reporter secret grand jury material.
It's not just problematic, it's a crime. She could get locked up for that. And again, it's a sign of her inexperience. She was an insurance lawyer. When she indicted James Comey, that was her fifth day on the job, the fifth day she had ever been a prosecutor. So she literally does not know what she's doing.
Legal experts say Halligan's indictment of former FBI Director James Comey is absurd, and point out there is no evidence that Comey lied to Congress. Comey's team has filed a motion to dismiss the case, noting that no prosecutors in the 100-person Eastern District of Virginia office were willing to sign Halligan's Comey indictment. Halligan has also indicted New York Attorney General Letitia James for allegedly misleading banks about a vacation property in Virginia to secure favorable mortgage terms. Experts say that indictment is also weak, and James, at her arraignment, lashed out and called the prosecution politically motivated.
I've heard from just about every jurisdiction in this nation who have said stand up and be tall. And never ever cow down or back down or break or bend. So there's no fear today. No fear. No fear. No fear. No fear. Because I believe that justice will rain down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream.
James's trial is set for late January, but her legal team has already moved to dismiss the charges, arguing they were unlawfully brought following pressure from Donald Trump. James's team is also seeking sanctions against Lindsey Halligan, accusing the U.S. Attorney of violating multiple ethics and secrecy rules. Reporter Anna Bauer of Lawfare recently published a signal chat exchange that she had with Halligan regarding the grand jury in the Letitia James case. According to Bauer, Halligan contacted her to complain about a Bauer social media post in which the reporter posted a summary of recent reporting from the New York Times. During their exchange, Bauer said Halligan sent messages that touched on grand jury matters, even as Halligan admitted she could not reveal such information because prosecutors are forbidden from disclosing it under federal law. Here's the play-by-play from MSNBC.
So here it is, Anna. Lindsey Halligan here in the subhead of this. This is from Lawfare, published on Monday. My signal exchange with the interim U.S. attorney about the Letitia James grand jury. Okay, at 4:10 p.m., she texted me that she being Lindsey Halligan, me being Anna Bauer. By the way, everything I ever sent you is off the record. Anna Bauer responded, I'm sorry, but that's not how this works. You don't get to say that in retrospect. Halligan was unpersuaded. This is Halligan. Yes, I do. Off record. It's obvious the whole combo is off record. There's disappearing messages, and it's on Signal. It's off the record. Man. You do not get to, do what's it called when you were a kid?
Retroactive.
Well, that's the grown-up way. Take-backs.
Yeah,
you don't get take-backs on stuff like that.
Halligan previously served as Donald Trump's personal attorney and in September assumed the post of interim U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia. Within weeks of taking office, and against the recommendations of all prosecutors in her office, Halligan secured indictments against Attorney General Letitia James and former FBI Director James Comey, each of whom have been frequent targets of Donald Trump's criticism. If Halligan used auto-deleting signal messages to discuss active grand jury investigations, it would potentially violate federal record-keeping rules designed to preserve a public record of official prosecution actions. It also bolsters arguments that the Trump team has politicized the U.S. Justice Department, and that these prosecutions are simply driven by Donald Trump's desire for vengeance, not because of any wrongdoing by James Comey or Letitia James. Also, Lindsey Halligan's Signalgate episode echoes incidents earlier this year when Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and other senior Trump officials used Signal to discuss classified military bombing operations. In that incident, like the latest one with Halligan, the Trump officials come across as sloppy and stupid. Although in Halligan's prosecution of Comey and James, the U.S. attorney's efforts are also lonely.
No career prosecutor in the office wanted to touch the case. And again, this is also a sign of the inexperience of the Eastern District for Virginia United States Attorney. The poor thing, when she went to court, it was the first time she'd ever been a prosecutor. Poor thing literally didn't know where to sit in the courtroom. Other people had to tell her, the prosecution sits over there.
Oh, that's
But she still had time to find a reporter on Signal in the bowers of lawfare and message her and lodge her complaints about reporting being done on the case.
Well, now the reporting on the Letitia James case will include hearings over Halligan's ethical violations. It is possible a judge will simply admonish Halligan and give her the equivalent of a courtroom slap on the wrist. It's also possible that despite the Comey and James indictments being so weak, the judges will not grant the defense motions to dismiss the indictment and the charges. In this era of doxing and security threats, one might understand if a judge decides to look out for their own safety and let a jury decide these cases. Still, even legal analysts on conservative cable channels think the Lindsey Halligan indictments are weak and that the U.S. Justice Department sooner or later is going to lose these trials and lose them badly. In other words, Lindsey Halligan is headed for even more humiliation and embarrassment, and the stain on our institutions, including the justice system, will only get worse. By the way, an Ultimate Fighting Championship star recently turned against Donald Trump and is accusing Trump of being the Antichrist.
Yeah, I do think that Donald Trump is that beast of Revelation 13:3. Yeah, go read it. Go read it.
That is Ultimate Fighting Championship star Bryce Mitchell calling Donald Trump the Antichrist.
If you're a Christian, I want you to get into Revelation 13:3, and I want you to read that verse. Yeah, about the Antichrist, about the one who was fatally wounded in the head. Then he was miraculously healed, and the whole world marveled at him and said, no man can make war with him.
13:3 says, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Yeah, I do think that Donald Trump is that beast of Revelation 13:3. Yeah, go read it.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us. Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. Thanks for watching. If you found this reporting and commentary valuable, do us a favor and tap the like button. For more content like this, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way, you'll be notified on your YouTube homepage when we drop a new video. If you are tired of corporate spin and want honest, people-focused news, click the join button below and be part of the fight for a better future. We wouldn't be here without your support. Stay informed, stay engaged, and thanks again for joining us.